Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a nice day. Before we begin the video, please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. The bold and the beautiful recap for Monday, July 14 saw Liam opening his eyes, Bill learning the truth about Liam's impending death, and Lee pulling Finn aside and asking a very telling question. Liam, Scott Clifton, remained unconscious but stable, leaving Steffi, Jacqueline McSins Wood, and Hope, Annika Noel, to pray for his recovery. Everyone ignored that even if he came around, he'd soon die anyway. Bridget, Ashley Jones, came in to check on things and talk about what Liam's slow progress. She assured the gals that he was stable, but she worried about Liam not opening his eyes. Grace, Cassandra Creech, came in and insisted on looking over Liam. He is her patient, after all. She excused Steffi and Hope and asked them to join the others in the hall. They did just that, where they found Taylor, Rebecca Buddig, updating Brooke, Catherine Kelly Lang, on all the drama. Back in the room, Grace begged Liam to come around. Down the hall, Sheila, Kimberlyn Brown, cried over the tragic loss of her lunatic granddaughter. Sheila cried over the news, and when the tears started to flow, Finn, Tanner Novlin, excused himself, leaving Deacon, Sean Kanan, to comfort her. Out in the hall, Ridge, Thorsten Kaye, got in dollar bills, Don Diamond, face while the powerhouse was in tears, worrying for his son. Yes, it's his fault for releasing Luna, Lisa Yamada. Yes, he would regret it for the rest of his life. When Bill stormed off to see his son, Ridge chased him down and pushed him into an empty room and implored him to leave Liam alone. Do something right by your son for once. Ridge laid into him like never before. All Liam ever wanted was for Bill to choose him, and he never did. Heck, he chose a killer over his son. What kind of father does that? Ridge urged him to stay away and pray. Pray for his son's survival and pray for his son's forgiveness. The men went to join the others, where Hope lashed out at Bill. She flew off the handle, so much that she slipped up about his brain tumor and was forced to admit to everyone, including Bill, that Liam's been battling cancer this whole time. Bill was shocked his son didn't tell him. He was even more shocked to hear that even if Liam survives Luna's attack, he wouldn't live much longer. Steffi didn't make hearing the news any easier. She also laid into Bill and all his selfishness. Thankfully, good news came that Liam was starting to come around. Steffi, Finn, and Hope rushed to his room just in time to watch Liam open his eyes. Also getting pulled into a room was Finn, by his mother. Lee, Naomi Matsuda, got him alone and asked him to be 100% honest. How does he really feel about his daughter's death? What an odd question to ask. Finn admitted it was complicated and that he was trying to process all of it. Luna's life was wasted. She suffered so much trauma and hardships, but look at what she did to Steffi and the others. Leigh understood and implored him to let Luna go and not allow her death to impact his marriage. Baker, Dan Martin, came upon them and assured them Luna would be back in prison for her host of crimes. Much to his surprise, Finn informed him that Luna is dead. What happened today on Bold and the beautiful July 14 took an unexpected turn when Lai confronted Finn with a question that stunned not only her son but fans watching across the country. In a tense moment that carried all the weight of unspoken history and maternal pain, Lai walked into the hospital with her usual confident stride, but there was something else behind her eyes. A heaviness, a tremor, a storm waiting to erupt. Finn, still caught in the web of emotions stirred by Hope's confession and the ongoing turmoil at Forrester Creations, didn't see it coming. He was focused on his charts, unaware that the next few moments would leave him speechless. When Lai asked him if he ever wished she hadn't saved him from death, the silence that followed was deafening. Yes, you read that right. Lai, the mother who risked everything to nurse Finn back to life after Sheila shot him and left him for dead, looked her son in the eyes and asked if he ever regretted surviving. The room felt like it stopped breathing. Finn blinked, unsure if he heard her correctly. She repeated the question, voice softer, almost broken. Do you ever wish I hadn't brought you back? It wasn't a question about gratitude. It was a cry for understanding. Finn, torn between shock and sympathy, struggled to find the right words. He told her he owed her his life, that he never takes that for granted, but Lai wasn't convinced. She pointed to all the pain that followed. Sheila still roaming free, Steffi growing more distant, and now Hope stepping closer in ways that feel dangerous. Finn reminded her he got a second chance at life, and for that, he would always be grateful. But Lee pushed back, telling him that second chances aren't always blessings if they come with a lifetime of torment. Finn was emotional, but calm. He asked her what brought this on, why she was suddenly questioning something so sacred. That's when Lai confessed she had a nightmare, a vivid, disturbing dream in which she saw herself making the decision to save him, and in that dream, Finn told her she made a mistake. He told her she should have let him go. Waking up from that shook her deeply. She said it felt more than a dream, it felt like a warning. Finn, clearly shaken but trying to be the voice of reason, told her it was only fear talking, not prophecy. He said he's had dark dreams too, but they don't define reality. Still, Lai was deeply affected. She admitted that ever since Sheila got out again, she hasn't slept well. The idea that Sheila could take everything from them again is haunting her. But Finn assured her he's stronger now. He said he won't let Sheila destroy what he's rebuilt. And then he said something that finally softened Lai's edge. He told her that no matter what happens, he's glad she saved him, because it gave him a chance to be a father, to love Steffi, to fight for his family. Lai nodded, eyes full of tears. She said she just needed to hear him say it. She needed to believe it. She reached for his hand, and for a moment, mother and son were united in their grief, their resilience, and their shared fear of what may come next. Meanwhile, the rest of the canvas continued shifting. Over at Forrester Creations, Ridge and Brooke were deep in discussion about RJ's growing role in the company. Ridge voiced concern that the pressure is building on their son faster than expected. Brooke defended RJ, saying he's stronger than Ridge gives him credit for, but Ridge knows the fashion world, and he knows how fast young designers burn out under the weight of legacy. Then talk turned to Hope. Ridge raised his eyebrows at the mention of her name, hinting that her recent closeness to Finn isn't going unnoticed. Brooke bristled. She knows Ridge doesn't trust her daughter's judgment right now, but she insisted Hope is just finding herself after heartbreak. Ridge said that may be true, but she's playing with fire, and if she's not careful, she's going to get burned, and maybe take Finn down with her. Brooke didn't deny that Hope's behavior has been erratic lately. She just hoped it was temporary. But Ridge warned her that emotions can be explosive when they're unresolved, especially in a town like this, where everyone's hearts are still bleeding from old wounds. Elsewhere, Steffi had a moment of clarity. Sitting alone in her office, she stared at a photo of her family and realized she hasn't truly forgiven Finn, not just for the kiss with Hope, but for the way he allowed Hope to get close in the first place. She picked up the phone but didn't call him. She couldn't, not yet. Instead, she called Thomas. When he answered, her voice was quiet but firm. "I need to talk," she said. Thomas, who's still trying to navigate his return to LA and stay clear of drama, agreed to meet. At Il Giardino, later that day, Steffi opened up. She told him she's confused, angry, and feeling betrayed in a way that doesn't make sense, because technically Finn didn't do anything unforgivable. But the emotional betrayal, the closeness with Hope, that's what's killing her. Thomas listened, sympathetic. He told her he understands the feeling of loving someone who's slipping away, and he said if she still loves Finn, she needs to fight for him. Steffi wasn't sure. She said she's not even sure who Finn is anymore. He's changed. He's quieter, more withdrawn, like he's carrying a secret. Thomas asked if she thought he was hiding something, and Steffi hesitated before saying yes. She doesn't have proof, but her instincts are screaming. And now, with Lee's breakdown today, the paranoia is spreading. What if there's more to Finn's silence than just stress? What if Sheila has contacted him again? What if the past isn't buried at all? Meanwhile, Hope stood in the design office, alone, her hands touching the sketch she'd worked on earlier. She thought about Finn, his kindness, his calm, the way he listens without judgment. But most of all, she thought about how easy it is to be with him. No expectations, no heartbreak, just quiet connection. But she knows what everyone's thinking. She knows Steffi hates her now. She knows her mother is worried. She knows the whispers have begun again, the same whispers that followed her during the Thomas years. Hope doesn't want to be the villain, but she also doesn't want to live her life for others anymore. She whispered to herself, "I'm not sorry," as if daring the universe to challenge her. She's tired of apologizing for wanting to be happy. Whether it's right or wrong, she feels alive when she's around Finn. And that scares her, because maybe she's falling for him, and maybe he's falling too. But what happens then? What happens if this goes too far? What happens if they cross a line that can't be undone? The question hung in the air, heavy and electric. Back at the hospital, after Lai left, Finn stared out the window, her words echoing in his mind. "Do you wish I hadn't saved you?" He doesn't. But part of him understands the question now in a way he didn't before. Because life after survival isn't always a gift. Sometimes it's a test, and the test isn't over. Not for him, not for Steffi, not for Hope, and not for Lai, who may have just cracked open a truth too painful to fully grasp. One thing is certain, July 14 on the Bold and the Beautiful was anything but ordinary. It was haunting, it was raw, it was the kind of day that changes everything. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our United News 24 YouTube channel for more update news.